I don't care if I win or lose. I just want to talk trash.
I'm
not really sure why.
Whoa! Welcome to Metazoo with you, America's most conflicted TCG podcast,
where we talk about what's right and what's wrong.
I am, of course, joined by America's #1 leaking roof, low tax bracket, but our combined hero, Donald.
It's raining right now.
Can you tell because of the leak in your roof?
I cannot, because it is now fixed.
Hey, how'd that go?
Well, I handed a man a large sum of money, and he said, it's all better now. And I just have to take his word for it.
And tonight's the first time it's rained.
And tonight is the first time it's rained since. So,
did you look at the work he did, or is it?
Would you?
You think I'm going to climb on the roof?
Would you go up on the roof and look at that?
I did when I got a new roof.
I want to clarify that if I got a hole in my roof fixed, I absolutely would.
Well, it's a bunch of holes. He got all the nails.
Was it an Uzi incident? What?
All the screws needed replaced. It's a metal roof, and all the screws.
Know where you live? Like, what's going on here, Donald?
I live in a pretty shady place. I'm in a low tax bracket. We've been over this.
You live in the cleanest town in West Virginia. It says that on the way in.
You live in the cleanest town of West Virginia.
They have a sign. They have a sign and everything.
The cleanest.
I'm avoiding any town that says they're the cleanest town.
The first time I saw it, I was like, who decided that?
Wait, is that a real sign?
It's a real sign.
The city sign below it says the cleanest town in West Virginia.
Oh,
yeah.
The city said this?
Yeah, it's the official
Donald, I want you to know my tax bracket jokes now just feel mean. That is some wild stuff here on the podcast.
It's the only place I could afford a house.
I don't believe you for 1 second. Oh. And I am, of course, joined by the man, the only one of us with real hair, I would argue. The only... Well, you guys, don't give me that look. Donald has more on his face than he had on his head. Gosh!
You can tell we haven't talked in a while. That's a late intro.
That's pretty bad.
I don't know what you guys want from me. I'm exhausted. And I am, of course, joined by the man who said Pokemon will only go up until the 30th anniversary. Sorcery to the moon. Louis to George.
I love that you just put words in my mouth and say things.
Well, you literally said it will go up through the 30th.
The market will remain doing what it's doing.
That is not what you said. That is not what you said.
Okay.
You said, will this be the low? It will get crazier.
It will get crazier.
There you go.
And we are joined by the revisionist, Mr. Revisionist History himself, George, who survived 2 planes this week.
3
planes. You flew on 3 planes. Any Boeings?
3.
Oh, I would never.
You know what? I'll say I prefer Airbus. I've always preferred Airbus. Now, I had to fly 5 hours in a middle seat in economy. I felt like Donald on the way to LA.
Nice.
It was...
Even I don't do that. I paid extra money for the end.
I didn't have, there was no seats available.
I don't do that. I don't pay the extra
money. You get you let the gods decide your seat?
Yeah, I try to schmooze my way into the emergency exit rows.
That ship's over, dude.
Yeah.
What's sad is that's how cheap I am. I'm with my giant size, I don't even go for the extra leg room.
No, I go for first. No. I go for first. There's first available. I'm eating it.
Now I just drive. I don't go far enough to fly anymore because of the kids.
They don't have planes in West Virginia. You got to discover the airplanes that you can pick your seats.
And I used to think driving was not worth it, but now I'm like,
I think it's so much better.
Under 8 hours, I'm driving.
100%.
I'm driving 100%. There's
8 hours is the right cutoff.
Yeah,
100%. But how about you, Donald?
Yeah, I mean, I drive too, unless it's across the country.
That's where I flew. It was across.
I guess the closest was Atlanta, which Atlanta is 11 hours, maybe 10 hours. So
it's amazing that our technology hasn't gotten any better since the 70s. Flying is basically the same thing.
You're way safer.
Has it?
Up until this year. You take out the last
I just think
3
it's
months, it's gotten a
crazy,
lot
like-
safer.
For the most part, flying is exactly the same today as it was in the 70s.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
I think it's like
Yeah.
way cheaper now.
I can't smoke on the plane anymore.
I think it's significantly worse of an experience also.
The guy on my plane
Yeah.
today got busted for sucking on Zins during his flight, which I gotta say,
That's not smoking.
Wait, you can't do that?
you can't do it. Like
Why?
he got called out. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Did he fight back?
No, I'm like, you listen, that's how you get on the no-go list. You can't fight back anything. This is tyranny.
I think if
just
there's
don't
no
understand
smoke,
what rule he's breaking.
I understand not like with the
Vaping.
vaping, that kind of makes sense, even though it's still not smoke. But
I don't get the no Zin thing. I don't know. I will say I don't get Zins. So like I don't get it,
no.
period.
my cousins,
Donald,
all
do you
use it.
Zin? You seem like a Zinner to me.
Who? Me?
Who?
No, you don't Zen down.
Don't Zin. Do your people Zin?
No,
I don't have people.
we don't have anybody. Nobody around us Zens.
It's really big in corporate. Like,
Yeah. I know a lot of people that
insane.
Zin.
Okay, back to the podcast, everybody. Sorry, I get decided.
Would a Pokemon Zin crossover be like the best crossover ever?
That's how they get the kids. It's the old candy cigarettes. It's the
Louis, when that happens, I'll believe your call about this being the bottom. When you guys
I never
actually
said
like
it was
do
the
what you got to
bottom.
do to become top dog,
The revisionist history is amazing. I never said it
you
was the
said
bottom.
you said it will only get crazier from here until the 30th.
Can we stop debating?
only
if it's
gone
the
down
top or
since
bottom and get going with the topics?
All right, we're talking today about Magic the
Yes.
Gathering. We're going to do the price increase on Secret Lair. We're going to talk about Final Fantasy a little bit, and some allocations are in. The big 2 allocations aren't in. Sorcery, we have a sorcery segment, everybody. We're talking about the
We
Dragon
learned to Google this week. Congratulate. Who gave you this topic?
the Dragon Lord set came
Who
out.
gave you the topic?
Nobody. I just have it.
I'll claim credit. I didn't, but if someone's going to take
I
credit,
just have it. And then we have a Metazoo topic. We have a Metazoo.
Meta goat.
We have before we get to the Lorcana section, we're gonna do our what's it called? Our secret sauce, which I have prepared for us this week. And then after that, we have a Lorcana segment, but we're gonna lose a friend on the Lorcana segment. So
and everyone knows it's not Donald, the only person who knows about Lorcana. So pick your guest.
we're talking about some things that maybe we shouldn't talk about for Lorcana. So
George from Japan from Gokana.
Louis, 15-second story. What happened to your background? You got no monitor, you got no Pokemon sheet. Have you just given up completely?
no, my basement flooded.
Sure,
So-
that was off the ground.
How high is your home insurance premium?
So I didn't do an insurance claim for this because we did in the same week that my basement flooded. Our house got hit with hail for 25 minutes, like
So
golf
your brand
balls,
new cars.
and so did both of our 2 new cars.
Feel
So
like-
we already had
Louis,
3
I know
insurance.
you're a believer. When do you just realize that God hates you?
We already had 3 insurance claims going on, and then the basement flooding. It was my fault.
How are you? Wait.
It was
Look at that for a second.
It was a frozen line. So insurance would say that it was
The
preventable.
line froze.
In the winter our outside spigot froze, but the way that works is it's got like an 18-inch spigot on it, and when you turn the knob here at the end of the spigot, it opens up. So there was no leak for the whole winter, but then when I went to use it 2 weekends ago, it just flooded water into my basement for 45 minutes while I was
How are you
What kind of
insured?
design is that?
Like how? Like who gives you? Like who is your home insurance company? I want to be able to short their stock.
It's not my fault.
You guys said it was your fault.
I mean, it
You
was-
started off with saying it's my fault.
Technically it's my fault, but like
Insurance would say it's his fault, so that makes it like 5% his fault.
yeah. So
So,
and
the
on
same
top of that,
guy-
like it's just like carpet. They would have just put carpet back in, and we're not doing that. So
the same guy that fixed Donald's roof fix your
No.
basement? Do you like a jack of all trades, master of none guy? Or like, what's
the guy
going on?
that fixed Louis' basement's name is Louis.
I can't figure out why your basement floods every week. It's a mystery.
Well, I had a plumber. My buddy Cameron came over and fixed the.
The fact that you refer to him as my buddy tells me shorting Louis still the right play.
Yeah.
This dude I know.
Okay, so Secret Lair. Josh, give us the rundown of the price changes for Secret Lair.
Well, I think we discussed it briefly last week. The foil Secret Lair jumped up another $10. Donald, who hates all of these things, generally any kind of price increase, and I agree with him on that one, can probably tell me the price that it jumped up to off the top of his head, because I don't remember, because I'm a bad podcast co-host. Huh?
The Adventures
of just foil?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Louis.
This I have it in front of me. It's $60 for the
Nice.
How many cards?
4.
Yeah.
Seems high.
Yeah. And then, George, if that seems high, we got a Secret Lair new drop that contains, is it 4 or 5 cards for now, $100. But they are in raised foil. Raised foil.
Seems high.
Now, mind you, these cards are
you're charging out $25 a card?
And they're extremely modern playable. And each one of the cards is roughly $1 or $2.
It's a total value of like $10. One of the cards is more expensive than others, but
I don't know who's buying these ones.
somebody will.
This is one of those that I could see sitting available for some time. I know that they like to do price checks and test us, but right on the eve of Final Fantasy,
I can't find the $100 one.
oh,
Pulled it. They pulled it right here on Metazoo Be With You, an exclusive.
I don't think they pulled it. The community outrage.
They pulled it.
Much. So here's the thing with this $100 Secret Lair. First of all, this is ridiculous. Like, that's a really high price to pay for some raised foil cards that are otherwise very cheap. But if they're going to do what we always assume they do, and George put me onto this, way early, was testing the market, seeing how much they could get for stuff. It's kind of how they blew up Commander Masters, made it much less than it ever could have been. I'd rather them do it with Secret Lair than
This is
like
absolutely going to sell out. This is absolutely not the last one they're going to do with this.
unless it's really low printed. Like if it's really low printed, it's
gonna
going to
sell
be
out.
great.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, this is going to be hot. This is going to sell out. They're going to put some fuego nonsense
Which
in
one are
there.
you talking about? Which one?
$100 one. It's going to sell out.
Yeah.
It's like
I actually
Magic players have shown they are everybody but Donald is incredibly price insensitive.
I don't think that a lot of people buy them. I do think they sell out, and I do think they add something into it that makes it worth it at the end.
They're putting Oko in there.
That ain't gonna do it, my friend.
But I don't.
Oko was a hot card.
I don't think this sells out because Magic players spend $100
What
on
happened
it.
to food tokens?
Why does it sell out?
I'm just saying. I think it sells out because of the quantity. I don't think it's. I don't think it's Magic players are okay with spending $100 for 4 cards because that's not true.
They are.
Nobody that the 4 of us knows is going to buy this for $100.
That's not true. I will guarantee you I know at least 5 people who will. They're
I
nerds.
know at least one on this podcast.
You don't know 5 people who play Magic, George.
That's inaccurate. I was with 5 of them literally yesterday. I talked to a world champion on the regular now.
Wow, look at you.
Is that why you have to leave the podcast?
I don't
Are you
remember.
training?
No.
Are you going to the pro
Train
tour?
me?
Go to the pro tour. George on the pro tour would be the best content known to man.
That was
Absolutely. I would be doing nothing but trash talking those MFers. Like I would be vicious to my
George
opponent.
getting stomped and being kicked out of the event for gameplay violations and just talking mess.
Absolutely. There'd be like I don't care if I win or lose. I just want to talk trash.
The other thing that they changed is the commander deck to $200 from I think it was $120.
I mean, like, listen, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna sell out.
The $200 commander deck doesn't bother me as much as the other ones.
Same.
I think they left a lot of money on the table for the commander decks historically. You have like the angels and demons one or whatever is going for like $450.
Magic players do not care about price.
And I also think like Wizards wants to reduce the amount of people who can make money off of these secret layers. They want to make money. So you raise the price by $200, they sell less of them, but they make more money, right? Because they're doubling the price. And it prevents people from buying them just to flip them. And like I think that's good. Like you guys know I've bought, all of us have bought some to flip them. And maybe not Donald, but Like,
pure as white as snow, huh, Donald? Relax. Continue, Louis.
I think it's good. Like, it's a better world where people aren't doing that with this product. Just kind of turned into something.
That's a terrible take.
Why?
There's two, because like then they should start selling it to LGSs. Like value, I get that they're creating the value through the cards. I get that.
Why should they do it to LGSs? Why is that the secret layer model?
Because they are making hot products.
Listen, I want them to do it too, but why should they? What gain do they have by doing that?
I think they gain a lot by doing that because I think like LGSs are hurting.
I don't.
Here's if they.
I don't buy that right now. I just don't buy
I mean, like, but they will be. I mean, like, listen, like tariffs are hitting. Like the economy shrunk this quarter. Like, there's no reason to believe that this is not. That LGSs will do better next quarter than this quarter, minus Final Fantasy.
They should just not do Secret Layer, or Secret Layer should be their direct-to-consumer product.
But I'm okay with it.
I hate Secret Layer. I think it's stupid. I don't like that they circumnavigate the LGS, but it does circumvent whatever. But Secret Layer is not a distribution product. It never was meant to be that. And like they should charge whatever they want to do, and like you should buy it. You shouldn't buy it.
Listen, if the answer is like free market, suck it up, Buttercup. Fine, no problem. But like I will say that like then you get to deal with the backlash. Like that's the cost.
Yeah.
I mean this. This will sell out. There'll be a bunch of rage bait videos about how this is the worst thing in the world, and how this is terrible. This is the end of Magic as I know it. And all this other nonsense, it will sell out, and nobody will remember this in 6 months. It'll just be like Magic 30th all over again.
Well, no,
at the end of the day, like people, like the Magic community has shown they do not care about anything other than the fact they get a lot of new products. That's what they care about. They want to feed the monster.
I don't think the shock value's there anymore.
No, like they figured it out. Pricing sense, like
the rage bait videos, this is the end of Magic.
I think see a couple of those people.
I mean, maybe, but I think we've truly, as a community, really wrapped our arms around like leaving stuff on the table.
I also think this is like the beginning, not the end, right? You're absolutely going to see a $100 card.
What do you mean?
You're going to see a $500 Secret Layer.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen big bundles like that are
no.
Way higher.
Cards, $500.
One card,
$5 maybe.
Oh, you're going to see it. Like, why wouldn't they do? Like, why would they stop? Like why would they stop doing this?
Well, because there is a point, right?
Yeah.
But until you get to that point, you push it.
I think this is. I think the point is this is going to be pushing it. I agree with Louis, and this is why I should never say anything out loud before the podcast starts. Apparently, the Commander deck feels more in line, but the 4 cards for $100 or $5, that it does feel like you're pushing it. It feels like you're getting pretty close.
Nope, no chance.
I just wish that they would put some cards that actually were worth something in these products. Like there was a time when you could pay $30 for a Secret Layer, and the value of the cards in normal versions was like $50 or $60. That has happened. Now it's like we hit the opposite. Like if you're going to charge $200 for a pre-made commander deck, at least put a couple fetch lands in there or something. I mean, fetch lands are like $10 now. It's not like it's crazy value, but like
see, I'm the opposite. I like that they try to charge money for the art, basically, is what this is, right? Like you're buying you're buying the artwork, you're buying that you like the SpongeBob cards. I like that they don't dive into the reprint equity as much as they used to for Secret Layers. Like that's what used to drive me nuts, is they would do a Secret Layer and print a Smothering Tithe, whatever it is, and that drove me nuts.
But in the commander deck, you're only getting 10 unique cards, and then the rest are just their normal printings. Like at least those normal printed cards you could give something of some value instead of just 25 cent cards.
There's 10 unique cards in this.
It's usually how they do it. Like they do 10 not unique cards, unique art. It's not mechanically unique.
Well, I thought the art was unique, but you only got 10 of like the special foil treatment.
Nah, that's not true. I mean, that wasn't true in the others anyway.
The other decks, it's super annoying. They put the Planeswalker symbol down on the bottom left of the card, and it still says M10 or whatever set the card came out.
No, you don't even get the wizard star. That's annoying.
It's like they can't afford the 30-cent Chat GPT time to fix the set symbol.
I'm a big fan of these conversations just because of where you take it.
It would take them. I could do this with 100 cards. It would take
GPT, but also don't use AI in my TCGs.
It would take 10 seconds to get this right, and they instead they throw a little Planeswalker symbol on the bottom.
I've always hated the Planeswalker symbol. I've never been a fan.
Yeah, they should put the Planeswalker symbol where the set symbol goes and call it a whatever.
A Wizards promo.
Yeah.
This is not hard. So
if you're going to get like I said, if you're only getting 10 unique cards, so really what you're doing is paying $200 for 10 cards, a 10 card secret layer that comes with other cards that
you're getting the reprint equity of the other cards though too.
Yeah. And you're also
not in this deck. You're not. Look at the deck list.
Right. Like we've seen that there is a premium to a deck, the idea of 99 cards with a commander together that play.
Yeah.
Like
I think that the commander decks are kind of falling off too. Like this one is kind of like, I don't know. What is this one? It's just like a bunch of random creatures. Like it's a shapeshifter commander.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shapeshifter commander with really no, I don't know.
It's a 5-color kindred deck.
Yes, yeah, the heads you win, heads I win, tails you lose deck. That thing was fun to play. It was like you could tell like somebody really put some time into creating it and building it. These ones just kind of feel like, I don't know, thrown together. But
it's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you for backing me up.
You're doing great, Donald. I support you and your roof, buddy.
The $100 one, I wanted to say something. Somebody left a comment that made me think about this. I don't remember who it was, but that the premium version like that doesn't matter. And I kind of feel like I agree with that. Like the raised foil premium, like super special $100 secret layers don't bother me. The one that bugs me is like charging $30 extra for the regular foil. That's the stuff that bugs me. But if they want to do like some sort of super cool textured treatment cards, whatever, and charge a lot of money for that stuff, I get it.
This is where I'll tick people off because I've never understood it. Why is this a problem? So I want to sell. I'm Wizards of the Coast. I want to sell 4, and I'm not going to buy it. It's not for me. But you sell 4 cards for $100. There's no value in those cards at all, and it doesn't affect you playing the game at all because you can buy a 3-cent copy of most of those cards. Right. Well, why does this make you mad?
Yeah,
something I've never understood.
And I don't think the outrage.
I think that's a bad. I mean, like, I get why it makes people mad. It's like, listen, like, you are putting certain variations of cards artificially out of reach of play of Donald's tax bracket.
But they've been doing that with the collector box for a while now.
Yeah, I think there's still some hate about collector boxes.
Nah, there's not.
There is. I mean, like, there absolutely is.
There's hate about the prices of like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, like, listen, I don't hate it. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with Secret Lair. And I'm like, Louis, I'm actually fine with it. But like at the end of the day, like, I absolutely get why this would make certain people cranky.
Just don't buy it.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
That's a bad argument.
I like why people
that's how you get out of every argument of like, well, then don't do it. I think, okay, great.
I think why people get angry is because they know it's going to happen to things like Marvel, things like, you know, it's going to be that way for that, and that's going to be annoying.
They do a Final Fantasy Secret Lair,
but that's a different scenario, right? The Marvel
Final Fantasy Secret Lair is going to be jarringly expensive and instant sellout.
It will definitely be an instant sellout, just like all the IP related ones have been pretty much instant sellout.
Say it. You gotta say it if you're going to talk about Universes Beyond. You gotta say it by law.
Well, let's talk about Final Fantasy then. Collector boxes. What's the line? I'm fine with it.
There you go. You got there, buddy. You got there. It's a bit. You got to stick with it now.
Collector box market price sitting at $695.
I
680.
think it will only go higher from here every single day until eternity, until like the 100th anniversary of Final Fantasy. What do you think, Louis?
Oh, you're obnoxious. That's what I think.
I'm just trying to understand. I'm just telling you where I think the market's going.
He's gonna flood your basement, dude.
Importantly,
I have two houses and no basements.
so GTS is one of the distributors, and for me anyway, GTS is like my third distributor. Everybody has their own favorite for distribution.
Yeah, you're too good for them. Talk more crap about them on the podcast.
I'm not talking crap about them. I love GTS. GTS is great,
dude.
But they have their allocations in, and like I know how many boxes I'm getting from GTS. But Southern and PhD orders are due today, right now, while we're recording. Orders are due, so their allocation won't be for another 2 weeks. So again, we've said this a couple times, but like if you're buying boxes right now, you are trusting whatever store you're buying from that they know how many boxes they're getting.
Yes, yeah.
So just so you all know, I put boxes up, but I only put
There you go.
there
you
a
go.
little bit of my allocation from GTS up. Is all I put up.
There you go. That's
Quantity
the movie
was.
I know and love.
But I don't know. It's interesting. This is this set's going to be. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Is there any other take other than it's going to be a banger?
Well, yeah, but are we up and down from here?
For a little while at least.
When's the release week?
Pre-release is the 6th, 7th, and 8th of June.
It'll go up from here, but then it goes down on release.
Well, that makes sense.
I mean, like, what are special edition Lord of the Rings at?
1,800. Yeah.
Holy shit. That's bananas.
Yeah. This is not
$2,000 a box.
Yeah, they're like between
Almost.
between 1,600 and $2,000. Last time I looked at them, they were $1,800.
That's the ceiling for right now.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it gets anywhere close to that.
I mean, I've been on the record. I've been on the record on this podcast from the very moment it released that this will be the best-selling set of all time. Now, other Johnny Come Latelys, Louis, have started to come around to this line of thinking.
It's already Wizards already said it was the great best-selling set of all time.
Wait, who did?
Wizards.
Yeah, they've already confirmed that.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Cox at a cocktail party, so it's hearsay.
So
once again, proven accurate.
here's the thing about the set: we still haven't seen spoilers yet.
Nothing.
Here's the only spoiler you need.
So
It contains America's second best video game,
let me ask you:
StarCraft.
Is there
Nobody
a spoiler? Is there a spoiler season that could make this set be less hype?
Yeah, I mean, sure. It won't, like,
I don't think you.
I think you could. I mean, they won't. I mean, listen. This is unquestionably going to be the set of the decade.
This won't be the case, but if this was Foundations with a Final Fantasy skin, then it would be bad. But it won't be that way because we just had Foundations, right? Like if it was like a core set with like a Final Fantasy, whatever.
Already the best-selling set. God, I'm on fire this podcast.
The crazy thing will be that we haven't seen what the serialized cards are yet. You put a 1 of 1 in this, something like that, and that's where these boxes I think could go.
I love Josh's idea of the sword. I think like that is the Fuego idea.
I scooped deep into my Final Fantasy contacts for that one. Shout out to my brother.
God, that'd be so good.
Yeah, I mean, but also you could show me a world. I don't know where the power level is not that good, and then it fizzles off. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
There's one thing Watson knows: it's power creep.
Yeah, but power level is not driving the price of Lord of the Rings.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
One ring.
One ring.
There's Bowmasters.
It's a
What are you
portion.
talking about?
Oh man, there's There's 2 cards that are playable, so I better pay $2,000 for this box. That's not why people are paying $2,000 for that box. Get over it.
That box, but the rest.
Right, that's exactly
doing
what.
very well.
No, but those highly playable cards in
I found
crazy
a
treatments
out
like
of 300
box, which
One
go
Ring.
for hundreds of dollars, are helping drive the price of that box, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a fair take.
You bought a 1 of 300 ring.
I found one. I apparently bought it a while ago.
Nice.
I found it in a box of shit that I found.
Classic George.
Like, oh,
I have a box for you. Where did I put that box? Now that you're back, I need to send it.
put my goat Kana cards in there too.
I gotta find that box. There's like $5,000 worth of.
Oh, is that what got dropped off at my door today?
I think it's at the shop. I'll look there tomorrow.
I'm a gold member and you sent it to me by mistake. I'm keeping it.
It has your address on it, so if it got lost, it'll get.
Hopefully some good Samaritan just takes it to
My
George.
neighbor called me. He was like, "Hey, man, there's a box been sitting in front of your front yard for like a week. Apparently, like UPS didn't listen to you to hold it."
Was it from me?
No,
Damn.
you dropped it off tonight. It was for the arcade.
No, I mean, I think though, when people get numbers in, you'll see boxes hit TCG Player. Like, I think there is some factors of which we see some downticks from the $700 price tick now. I do agree with you guys. It will end up higher than currently is at some point.
Okay, that's the only question that matters to everybody.
I don't know. I mean, it's currently selling 15 a day at these pre-order prices with no spoilers.
There's already been 1.6 essentially $1 million worth of product sold before any spoiler.
It's crazy.
That crazy? Oh, this intrigue.
There's also Japanese collector boxes too that are supposed to be word for word from PhD extremely allocated.
That you can see a reprint of. That will not shock me. They reprint that.
Can't. They're serialized cards.
Is that confirmed?
Yes.
I think the box says may include serialized cards.
Yeah. So the play boxes will get a reprint.
Yeah.
Obviously. The regular commander decks will get a reprint, obviously.
They do a good job of that too. Like Lord of the Rings, the draft and set boxes were stable in price up until like a couple months ago for like their whole lifespan. It was pretty cool.
And the commander decks are still available at distro. Right. I ship out more Lord of the Rings and Fallout commander decks every week than that's what all the gold wizards open and crack for packs is because they sell the sample packs for like $5 a pack on eBay. It's crazy. Smart. I don't know. This set's gonna be fire. I can't wait for spoilers. Josh, you know when spoilers start?
No clue off the top of my head.
It's got to be next week, I would guess. That would be 3 weeks before pre-release.
I hope they do no spoilers. I hope they do nothing.
You're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah. I hope it's just like bam. You want to spoil? Buy a box.
You know what set's getting the complete shaft? Edge of Eternities comes out like a month and a half after this. Nobody's talking. Nobody even knows that that's the next set.
Yeah, of course. You released the GOAT set.
Between
the only set people would talk about after this is StarCraft.
It's between Final Fantasy and Spider-Man. It's released right in the middle of
like there's one game that could come out that would sell better than this.
George, last week we talked about this. The Spider-Man set has a universes within set on Arena because they didn't get the license to Marvel's digital platform.
Bob Iger said no, thank you. You can do the cards, can't do the app.
That was always going to be weird with Marvel Snap being a thing. That was always going to be a weird like. Oh, you want
like
Spider-Man? You scroll and you
is like
ad. And like
the whole industry is like riding Bob Iger's back. At some point, y'all got to go find other IP. Y'all know that, right?
Who?
The GOAT.
Give us the Taylor Swift crossover. Okay, let's talk.
So good. That would be the number. That would actually be the best selling of all time.
Would that make you build a commander deck?
Absolutely, no question. I would have to build multiple. Donald, would you build one with me?
Does she have partner?
Donald, you're not a Swiftie?
No,
definitely not Swiftie.
What do you listen to?
Nothing that was written in the last 30 years.
I could see you being a death metal guy for some reason.
I could see you being like an AC/DC guy.
I could see you singing in a choir.
I could see that too. I could almost hear it.
Okay.
Maria. How was my picture, Donald?
Let's talk about a game with its own IP.
How was that? Louis, would you relax? How was that, Donald?
You're so salty.
It's pretty bad.
You're
Why was that bad? I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was the voice of angels.
It was flat.
Tarkir's out here just smashing.
Oh, okay. And now somebody's typing a comment. I hate it when George is on this podcast. Right now is when they're typing it.
Just so you know, it's
To
me.
you, my friend who is typing that. I get it. I get it. We can't get rid of him. He's like a wart that just comes back and back and back. Doesn't matter how much you burn him off.
Learn to have some fun and don't take nerd hobbies so seriously.
Calling George a wart was not on my bingo card today.
What are you drinking?
Doesn't matter what you do. It just keeps coming back.
Oh man,
What are you drinking?
why are you not treating warts properly?
Well, he has a UTI. Look at him.
You freeze him off.
He's like, I gotta get this infection out of here.
Cranberry juice.
This is the best juice in the universe.
How much of a UTI do you have?
No chance that juice is good for a diet.
It's just water. All it is, it contains
It's
nothing. It's
sugar.
just water. It's got 5 calories. There's no sugar. There's 1 gram of sugar.
Why are you drinking? Like, we've seen y'all drink some nasty stuff.
All it is
That
is
is a
water.
new takeaway.
It's watered down cranberry juice.
All this is water.
That's true too.
Why are you drinking cranberry juice?
This is what I drink when I'm not drinking Diet Coke. This is how I drink water.
George, you missed it. I'm on the RC train. It was
Dude, RC S tier cola.
98 cents, buddy.
Yeah,
couldn't
RC
turn it
S tier
down.
cola.
Oh,
Okay.
we're gonna not drink RC.
Hey, we finally have something to talk about with sorcery. Can we talk about sorcery?
Oh my god!
Love
Fine,
to.
I'll get my
I'm in.
coffee.
The Dragon Lord set has been officially spoiled. 13 cards in a 14 card box, one of which is a random foil from the set.
So it's basically Secret Lair.
It's exactly what we said it was going to be
Yeah.
when we but it's not Secret Lair because it's not direct to consumer. It's through distribution. Going to be available at Gen Con for all of you going to Gen Con. Unfortunately, the trio here will not be at Gen Con again this year.
We're not going this year?
I'm not going this year. Are you going this year?
Why are we not going this year?
If you go, will you pick me up a Dragon Lord set?
I'll pick me up a Dragon Lord set. No, I would totally. If I were to go, I totally would.
I want one.
Although I think after our hungover escapades last year, I don't think Eric would let me near the booth.
Yeah, they haven't talked to me since then.
I don't blame them. They've seen how you interact. So, like, what work is this going to be? Like the LGS?
Yeah, so it's going to be at Gen Con first, and then
I don't think you can actually buy it at Gen Con. They're just debuting it at Gen Con.
Is that true?
God, I love that Louis knows absolutely nothing about this.
Yeah, the announcement says
experience Dragon Lord first at Gen Con. So
it says attendees will have the exclusive opportunity to experience this powerful new release firsthand in both casual and event play. It doesn't say you can buy it.
I love that
How
Louis knows
would they-
nothing about this game.
how would they get you to
Nothing at all.
experience it without you buying it?
Well, we experienced Arthurian Legends when the box was in there spinning. And it was
Right.
pretty-
You play an event with it.
I love
dope.
this.
You
I
think
love this
they're gonna
so
let
much.
you play an event with it and not walk away with it.
And take it back. I don't think they're going to take it back.
That's how you read that. You read that as come experience it and play with it, but we're gonna take it back when you leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited for. Is this weird? I'm excited for the package this is going to be in because of the Arthurian Legends box.
You can see the package. Don't get too excited.
Oh, can you? Uh-oh.
It looks fine. What do you want it to look like?
It's just a black. I mean, it's just a black box with a hole in it with the cards. It's not.
Arthurian Legends box.
It doesn't look like the Arthurian Legends box.
It's got a printed design on it. What do you want it to be? Like a hologram, like the Star Trek thing? Like what do you want it to be? It's a box that holds cards.
They set the bar with the last one. It was insane looking.
It wasn't.
Actually, the art on this is pretty sick. I see what you're saying, Donald. Is just kind of a black box compared to if I were to put it next to the
I think they should just do nothing but a black box. No insignia, nothing. Black box. Random cards from random games.
It's all Metazoo.
Yes. Christmas packs. Christmas packs.
I know a guy if he wants some Christmas packs. So what's really cool about this, if you watch the video of them interviewing Ed Beard Jr., so he left TCG space in 2005, but he had developed this like lore, this Dragon Lord lore, and Eric approached him and said, "Hey, do you have anything for dragons? We want to do like a mini set in between sets," and he had already had this whole developed lore. So this is Ed Beard Jr.'s like world that he has built. It's almost like his world building thing for like a D&D campaign type thing. But kind of cool that seeing it come to life now in Sorcery. So
big takeaway here. Ed Beard, one of the top names in humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Guy, definitely up there. Ed Beard.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have that great of a beard.
I think that makes it better.
No.
Well, I think
he's a hipster. It's ironic.
I think it absolutely makes it better because
he is a junior though. So do you think his like Ed Beard?
He has a good beard. This is his way of like shaming him.
Yeah.
Can we call Donald Don Beard? Because I think
every day. Call Tim Apple. Donald Beard. I can call him Donald Roof. Call him Donald Roof and Louis Basement.
So what do you guys think? They don't have any price on this. What do you guys think they sell 14 cards for?
Okay.
Do you think it's $100?
$99.99.
$4.99. $4.99.
What'd you say, George?
$4.99.
I don't. Okay. Well, you're both insane. $50? $49.99?
No. I will say this. Like, all jokes aside, when you print in China with these tariffs, it could get real.
That's true.
When is one done?
If the box is not already in the land of freedom,
I was wondering.
If the boxes are not already in the land of freedom,
that could get hairy.
I was going to say $24.99.
No shot.
I think it's higher or low, Donald.
I think the bottom they sell this for is $50. The bottom.
$3 a card for this game?
The bottom.
Donald's on Team Josh. Let's go.
I think it'll be $24.99. I think it'll be pretty heavily like allocated.
Well,
if they allocate this, they deserve the wrath they will get.
Why? Why would you
can't tell me I want more players and then make the boxes hard to get.
It doesn't mean to be hard to get. If there's 2,000 players, you need 2,000 of these. You don't need.
That's not the way the market works. It's not one per player. Some jackass named Louis is going to go in and buy 1,000 of them, and then charge.
But it's not like a box where you're opening up different. Every single one of these boxes has every single card in the set.
Yeah, but there's got to be some going to be foil randomly or something, right? There's some randomization.
So this is my hot take.
Box.
You want to know
they short print this box, they should just become the world's worst sports card. They should start doing hyper short print runs, do sports card nobody cares about. They can do their fancy artist cards with 14 kinds of foiling. Louis will love it until he hates it, like he does every other game he pumps and dumps.
You know what they do?
If they short print a set, the thing that they told us was going to be like the big aha moment for the game.
They never said that this was going to be the big aha moment of the game. They
didn't say that.
Who the hell
absolutely said that this is how they're going to keep things fresh between the annual sets or these mini sets. This is the thing they're doing to keep the game fresh between the annual sets. You cannot say, I will keep things fresh between annual sets with mini sets and then not print enough of them.
I'm not saying they shouldn't print enough of them.
You're saying they should short print it. You literally just said that.
I'm saying they should watch the print run of this.
That is not what you said. Hot take? That is not what you said.
You want to know my real take?
Revisionist history.
You want to know my real take?
What?
This should be direct to consumer. This should be direct to consumer.
I'm fine with that.
From them. This should never ever hit distribution because distribution will screw this up.
Then maybe it should be direct to LGS because I still like the idea of giving people a reason to come into the LGS for Sorcery. I like that idea, especially when you do one release a year. I like anything you do to pull you in for Sorcery is a win.
Yeah.
But you're right. If this is heavily allocated, distribution's totally going to screw it up.
It's just too small of a product to not screw up. Like the price point of it is not worth distribution's time and energy to do it right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, back when we had our more consistent Sorcery discussions,
Before we gave up on the game, continue.
Did not give up
on the game. That's too far. Even that's even too far for me.
Never.
You did
such a butthead.
You did celebrate this as a reason or a way to keep things fresh. That was a Louis DeGeorge take.
I agree with that.
Now that this is out and you know it's going to be 13 cards, let's stick right in the middle and say it's $49.99.
So we always knew it was going to be 13 cards.
What?
We always knew it was 13 cards.
Sure. How do you feel about this as a way to keep things fresh? Now that we're getting some information about it, how's that feel?
I love that Dragon Lord is an avatar. Like I think that they should add avatars like throughout the year. I think that's a really fun way. I think any game that has a like external to a deck card has a unique ability to like change the whole meta by putting one card in, right?
Sure.
Because you can build around.
Let you make better use of the existing card pool.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I like that they have that, and I think it's going to be fun for people to build around it. I don't know how powerful the Dragon Lord is. You put a unique dragon aside, and once on your turn, you can pay 3 to gain its abilities. So basically, the Dragon Lord turns into whatever, unique dragon that you put aside, which is cool. But I don't know how like meta shifting and powerful that's going to be. Probably depends on what.
George, our gameplay analyst. George,
I think it'll be a good card. Maybe not S tier, but 1 tier below.
Well, considering the unique dragons are the other cards in this product, essentially, like some of them are. There are no other unique dragons that exist already. So there's just not going to be that many cards to make it. Yeah,
right.
Donald with the info, the intel.
God, I'm so glad Donald knows more about this game than everybody else in this podcast.
Thanks, Donald.
That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy.
Most knowledgeable, least roof holes, probably.
So
that I'm with you.
So can I also add that we're not getting a full set this year either.
Is that
what?
Where is that?
Well, no, I'm saying last year at Gen Con they previewed Arthurian Legends. This year at Gen Con they're previewing Dragon Lord. So
they previewed it at SN.
So
no, that
doesn't mean that we aren't getting a set this year. That's a big leap.
Oh no, he's giving his. Let him look.
Can I talk? Can I just talk? Like, can you just shut your mouth for 1 second?
I see in this.
Wow,
Louis. About you for 1 second.
Yeah, Louis.
So if this is being like distributed for the first time at Gen Con, and we don't know when pre-orders are yet. It says that info is coming in the next couple of weeks. That Gen Con's in August. That doesn't leave much room at the end of the year for the new set. So my question is the next set pushed to like Q1 of next year? Because are they going to release this and a new set at the same time?
I hope not.
That's
good. Donald's actually got the take there. That's like in Donald's defense, that leaves 3 months. Oh, look at Louis' face, the nervousness on this boy.
Facebook groups and
I'm looking at to see what
nervousness.
So
I honestly wonder if the terrorists messed him up.
And I think I'd have some empathy for that. Right? Because
Stop it.
Out of nowhere.
Stop. You have a year to make a set.
I'm trying to find their announcement on Gothic to see if they put a date. I know they didn't put a date on it, but to see if they put 2025 on it.
So here's the meme question then, Donald. If your take is correct, if your take is incorrect and they release this and then follow it up with another set, are we concerned about Sorcery's rapid release cycle?
Yes.
As they follow in the footsteps of Magic, and we don't even have time to get through one spoiler.
Too many sets. Yeah. Too many sets.
When is Essen? When is Essen Spiel?
That's a big deal. I don't know. That's a good question. Podcast of Googling.
November.
This is why we should make a script, guys.
I can think of
23 to
nothing
20
more useless than a script for this podcast.
October 23 to 26. Well,
No way.
Sorry, in their words,
Donald's take is getting better.
in their words, 23 to 26 October, but that's not how.
Wait, this is dropping 23 or 26 October. I like Donald's take more and more. I like Donald's take more and more.
Oh God, Louis, you better get on the horn tonight, Eric.
Is that sweat or cranberry juice?
You better call Eric tonight, Louis.
There's no way they don't have a set in 2025.
Donald, did you?
Okay, I want to make sure everybody heard that.
I am team that's terrible. If that's what happens, I'm team.
I will
terrible.
wait for this story to change rapidly.
Yeah, there's no rapid change there.
Donald, how do you feel about just destroying your best friend's world?
I feel fine. Don't worry, Donald. Don't worry, you didn't destroy me.
Why would that destroy my world? George said I've already given up on the game. I don't care about it.
Oh, well, hold on. Now George is the bastion of truth.
Accurate. Accurate. About time I get recognized. God, look at Louis' face. That is pain.
Guys, I don't know.
Pain. Look at. Okay, if you are not watching the YouTube channel, Louis, what timestamp is this?
I understand the pessimism on the podcast.
Look at Louis' face.
Everything that they do
Whoa.
setting up Gothic for 2025.
All it was a question. We got Arthurian Legends last year at Gen Con. This year at Gen Con, we're getting the mini set. Where does the other set fall in the last 3 months of the year?
I wish this was
just a question.
October, November.
Just in his honor.
Okay. So we're getting Gothic in October.
Yep.
Okay.
At the same time as we get this?
Yes.
No, you can get this earlier. This could come out in September.
I thought they said they're targeting October 25.
Gen Con,
Wait, when
Gen Con is in August. Gen Con is in
Gen
August.
Con is the first weekend of August.
October, November, December. So you have 4 months.
Yeah.
To get this box
So you
out.
put this out. You put this out at Gen Con. It ships out on the next week.
So
And then in October, you've got what
The good news is there's not a lot of boxes going from China to the US right now, so they should have plenty of space.
they can put it on airplanes.
the bad
No,
news-
that part was serious. Like nobody's shipping anything right now, so like they'll have
Yes.
plenty of room.
That is very true. That's my day job.
Like nothing's being shipped right
totally
now.
chill.
Yeah.
They'll have plenty of room.
Except
The box will
that's
cost
bad.
$599, but like that's a tomorrow problem. Oh, look at Louis' face. Oh, this is so good.
Wild.
This might be my favorite segment in
not-
podcast
that's not-
history.
If this podcast isn't called Donald Breaks the Internet, then
That's-
How'd you Donald? I've been trying to break him for 3 years, and you did it with one question.
Because Donald actually pays attention to real things, and you just make shit up.
Yeah, accurate.
I don't know.
that admission is crazy. Tomorrow.
2 announcements ago, they said Gothic stirs to Gen Con 2025. Gothic Shadow Stir Jeff A. Mangus returns to Gen Con 2025. To
But
me,
now,
that seems like, hey, you can expect Gothic in 2025. That's how I interpret that.
So, are we going to get the Gothic box now spinning, but this being the headline product of Gen Con?
Yeah.
Are you going to use Gen Con to showcase 2 products?
I think they could use Gen Con to put this out there, and then they could use Gen Con to announce the release date of Gothic.
Look at that face. Even Louis knows this is terrible.
It's bad. If they don't have a set this year, it's really bad.
I think that's worse to release the set and announce it the same week.
No. That's not worse.
They've done 2 releases in 12 months, and they can't figure out how to spread them apart. 3 hours.
Yeah, I think that's the why did we not get this in the middle of the if we are going to get Gothic in October, let's call it, why did we not get this in June?
right, this is supposed to be the set in between sets. So if we're getting this a month before we get the other set, then
Technically,
that's right.
I
Yeah.
love this.
I mean,
I love this. I love this so much. This is so good.
at least it's still better than Metazoo.
Incorrect.
I'm a believer.
Metazoo is releasing more products and a more routine time frame than Sorcery could ever dream of.
I'm a believer.
And they're printed in the land of freedom.
Louis says we're getting this Dragon Lord product in September, and we're getting Gothic in October. I don't understand why the dragons wouldn't just be in Gothic at that point. But
What did you say, George?
Sorcery, the old Metazoo, printed in China.
Sorcery.
Weird printing schedule.
No, Metazoo's the old Metazoo.
No, Metazoo's doing great.
I was talking to somebody about Metazoo today, and I said, "Man, I miss Mike. It was always more fun with Mike."
So, you know what? You know what? I can't even argue with that.
Bring back
Like the new team is competent. They're good. They're steady. They're well capitalized.
The shark.
They're doing a lot right.
That's
but like,
boring. That's boring.
like they will never have the audacity to tell a carny that they're releasing an arcade game.
Moving on from that to Metazoo.
You can't convince me that wasn't just targeted at you.
100%.
100%. That's what
100%.
You.
100%. He made up that whole thing just to get us to talk about it on this podcast.
100%.
They sent out thank you boxes. I didn't get one, so
They have nothing to thank you for. You didn't get one from Lorcana either.
Did you get one?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You didn't even know these existed before we started the podcast.
I absolutely, positively knew they existed.
Okay, go get it.
You knew
I
they
don't have it here. It's in Seattle.
You didn't get one. He didn't get one. He didn't get one.
I'm gonna text somebody right now and get one for us next week. You want one, Louis?
Oh, next week you'll get one. Yeah, I want one.
I want one too.
Actually, Donald, will you send me your address? I'm sending it to you instead.
I want one
Will
too,
you
George.
wait, Donald? If I get you one, will you promise me you will never give it to Louis?
yes,
Thank you.
No, hold on. Or sell it to Louis.
I don't even want one.
Now I don't want one. Now I don't want one.
I want it to be.
Now I don't want one. Oh, here we go. The Louis and George story changes again.
I want it to be known that George lied to everybody on the podcast and said he got one, and
I got one in Seattle.
No, you did not. You didn't. He didn't. He didn't even know about him. 5 seconds ago, he didn't know about him.
I absolutely knew about them for one important reason.
Liar, liar, pants on.
I can believe that he knew about them for that reason. I still don't believe he got one.
Absolutely.
So they just like randomly sent these to people who spent money, I guess. Somebody
People who bought boxes.
Somebody sent me the photo, and I said, "Oh, please God, be related to the NFTs. Please be."
I don't think they're doing anything with the NFTs.
Please be an NFT perk. That's kind of a bummer.
I agree.
The NFTs were.
They also got Flex decks out, so they have released more products this week than Sorcery has this year.
Are we moving on to the Metazoo topic?
Yeah. What are flex decks?
It's a deck that you can have. It can either be combined into one deck, or you can break it up into two decks to learn to play the game. $25.
Jumpstart?
Yeah, it's Jumpstart.
It's reverse Jumpstart.
it's reverse jumpstart. Yeah, you take it apart instead of putting it together.
Oh, my brain was doing the same thing. Like,
Distro sold out.
Jumpstart.
Distro sold out.
Stop it.
Distro sold out.
Yeah, because they probably had 6 of them.
I mean, thousands were sold.
No, they weren't.
So we made 10 of them.
Thousands of these decks were not sold. There's no shot.
You think it's tens of thousands? Is that where you're going with this?
No. 6.
Tens. He thinks tens.
No, I don't think so. I think
Let's settle this. Let's let the market decide. George, what's the price of these on TCG Player in a month?
it's not on TCG Player.
Why do you have to ruin it? Why do you have to ruin it? He was going to fall for it. He was going to give a price, and I was going to be able to say it's not going to be on TCG.
It will be one of the top selling games on TCG Player.
Do you know, George, that your boy,
6 months.
your
6 months. Hold on. Don't slide by that. In 6 months, Metazoo is going to be one of the top selling games. What is one of the top selling? Give me a range. It's got to exist.
you know what's up there? Star Wars.
Yeah, give me a range. Is it going to pass?
It will outsell Star Wars. That I can tell you.
6 months.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
There's no shot.
The cool part is I will be able to tell you.
Great. I love that.
You won't, because Metazoo will never be on
I stay
TCG.
true to my games.
They keep changing the top line of TCG players.
Is that true?
Yeah.
What is it now?
Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Disney, One Piece, Digimon, Star Wars, and then it used to be more products, but now it says Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Blood was in more products until today.
Well, that's because they have a release coming up, don't they?
Yeah.
TCG Player wants their sweet
is that
18%
TCG?
or whatever they're getting
No, Metazoo is still on, but it's only the old cards. They're not even putting on the new cards.
They don't want to. They don't want to crash their website. That's smart of them.
The Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering is on there, and he's like, "That Metazoo, it's gonna crash the site. It's too much."
TCG player knows.
You're kind of an expert on the topic. Do you think it would crash the website? Or?
Absolutely, it would.
You are really
It
good.
doesn't take much. Takes one error. Takes one error from what I learned. Takes one bug.
Listen, not all of us are very good at our jobs, but we all write code. Okay, George, be nice.
That was good.
Takes one bug.
That was a good one. All right, we're ready for the secret sauce.
I thought we were talking about Metazoo.
What else is there to talk about?
The fact that the guy who bought it and was the lauded creator went on the most popular Magic the Gathering channel, and he said, "What other games are you involved in?"
Yeah, I was about to
didn't
do that.
mention Metazoo.
You read my mind.
He mentioned every other game. He mentioned
He doesn't want to. He doesn't.
I've
Again,
never
like you guys, they're already oversold.
Years, God willing, he's still here, and not one peep about Metazoo.
They're already oversold. They don't want. There's no need to. They're not trying to create a bubble. They want to make this a slow and steady increase. It's very smart of him.
I was like, George is going to use this as so much ammo because it's the current project. He's definitely going to say it. I listened to the whole interview. I was like, well, that was
No,
weird.
look, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to create false demand. He wants everybody to know. He wants to go slow and steady. He wants the game to stand on its own. Very smart of him.
It just blew my mind. It broke.
Very smart of him to not try to like create a bubble.
You would have mentioned Metazoo on that thing.
George would have just
baffled.
lost.
I would have been baffled.
Yeah.
Metazoo's doing great. You guys are just haters.
Bring back Mike. We should get t-shirts.
Bring back Mike.
We should get t-shirts that say "Bring back Mike." At least it was fun then.
It's still fun.
At least it was like, you never knew what was going to happen.
That's accurate.
We should make May the Zoo be with
The trick
you.
is we did know something's
Make
going to
Metazoo
happen.
great
Like
again.
boxes shipping. We know what was going to happen, but we knew what was not going to happen.
Whatever he said.
More importantly, the secret sauce, because we are going to do a Lorcana topic, but we have to lose a person on the podcast because they don't want to talk about it.
No.
There's an internet sensation going on right now. It's all over the internet. Who would win in a fight?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Okay.
Is it what is it?
100 gorillas.
100 gorillas, 100 gorillas versus 1,000 grown men.
Nope.
What is it?
One silverback gorilla versus 100 grown men.
Oh,
Anybody who thinks the men are the dumbest people on the face of the planet.
I watched a simulation that was
100 versus the 10,000 men.
Yeah.
I too watched that.
Yeah.
Where they just had guys flying through the air.
I was picking man in that.
There's people who are like hell bent that men could figure it out.
Can't use tools, can't use weapons.
I was like, if you make it the average men, I was like, half of them are running away scared. Like,
I'm that half.
Yeah.
I'm that half.
Let's because the gorilla is also running away scared.
no
way.
Why would the gorilla be running away?
The same reason lions hide when a jeep runs by in the savannah.
It depends on if you provoked it.
Yeah, so the argument has to be both are agreeing to aggressively fight. All 100 men are trying to kill the gorilla. That is their sole mission.
Yeah,
and
You
the
had
gorilla is trying to kill
500 men hell bent on beating that monkey. Ain't happening.
But Josh, a gorilla is it is meant to fight. It is natural. Its natural instinct is to hit you and to fight, and it's got basically body armor because it's got like thick
Gorillas in the wild.
You as an average human male are not.
Josh is not average.
Are not made to fight.
He just called you fat. He just called you fat and
point of
short.
the argument. My point is, gorillas see other predators all the time that they have the ability to kill, and
It doesn't see a average male as a predator. That's the difference.
Sees his meal. Sees his lunchtime.
Yeah. Or something to throw across the room.
These gorillas are eating, but
So Josh, do you think the human males can win?
No. Well, oh gosh. If we took the worst gorilla and our best 100 humans ever, maybe.
Like, who's on this list? We got Chuck Norris,
Oh, then we're
That's it. Never mind. Never mind.
One
Okay.
Chuck Norris. I got
All
the Chuck Norris.
All right. One, regular full-grown gorilla.
What is it? I can't close my eyes and picture the
Got
difference between an impressive gorilla and
Go.
an average gorilla.
Average gorilla on there, Louis. Continue.
Versus 100 trained Marines. Who wins?
Gorilla.
The gorilla.
The gorilla.
I still
Wait, do the Marines have guns?
Size.
no guns.
Okay, then the gorilla.
I think you're going to need some size and some weight.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to matter because only
100 sumo wrestlers.
like 3 people can
The gorilla.
only 3 people can attack the gorilla at a time. So it doesn't matter whether you have
That's a weird
100.
number. How did you get to
Why?
I have experience in this. Okay, so
Making this up, Donald.
gorillas? Donald's just going down to the zoo to fight gorillas. It's like I'm in.
Stop. Is this time to talk about your kinks? Like, what's going on here, big guys? Like, what are you into?
He bought Louis a gorilla suit. This makes sense.
I think you could
Talk sorcery into my ear.
tell me that there is a number.
Tell me how many sets they're going to print, big boy.
You could tell me there's a number that is like the amount of people who can fight a gorilla at once. I don't think it's 3 though.
Why would it be 3?
So you're using human flesh as trying to tire the gorilla out.
But at some point, the gorilla is also using human flesh and just like throwing them around at each other. Like,
Sure, but then we get to use
Also,
tools,
we energize
too.
when it goes to dine on our flesh.
we don't get to use tools.
Well, if the gorilla can use our broken bones as weapons, why can't we? Why can't I pick up your severed leg with the sharpened end of the bone and poke the gorilla?
Because it has leathery armor on it.
Well, it's not impenetrable. It's not impervious.
I think it is. It's like a whole thing.
They're just
Listen, I went down some rabbit trails on this gorilla. I know a lot about the gorilla.
That's Twitter.
What caliber weapon do you need? What caliber firearm do you need?
You're not allowed to bring firearms.
No,
I read the book Sapiens. I'll say, like, it was very interesting about this.
So since this is a TCG podcast, how many one gorilla? How many Magic players does it take to take out the gorilla?
Infinite.
Yep.
Infinite. Could be every Magic player in history.
Magic
Magic
turns into Metazoo.
That's how Magic dies.
Would they be better if they were Yu-Gi-Oh players because they're used to duels?
The gorilla would.
I think the
run away
Yu-Gi-Oh
because of the
player would
smell.
probably win because I think the smell would probably knock out the gorilla.
I think the Yu-Gi-Oh
Magic players are more known for their smell than Yu-Gi-Oh players are more known for their socially awkwardness.
I was going to say they're cheating. And so,
Oh,
guys, if we put Yu-Gi-Oh players out there, some of them are bringing shanks.
Freaking guns.
They're absolute cheaters.
What about Pokemon players? Do they have someone fight for them?
There's not enough.
They're done.
That's less than 100.
There could be, like, no.
The thing
will
is,
never
can
catch
we,
them all.
can we find enough Pokemon players?
No, the 4 of them would just die.
Uh,
How about sorcery players, Louis?
No. They're still waiting for
You
their.
don't think it's 2 versus a gorilla? The gorilla wins against those 2 people?
All sorcery fans like us are all over the hill. They're all like,
Yeah, they're too old.
we're all past
Oh,
our.
look at this pretty art.
Can we paint the gorilla?
Yeah, there you go. Can I charge $10,000 if I paint him real pretty?
What's the number of human? Because there's sooner or later there's a number of humans where the gorilla just dies of
The
exhaustion.
only question is, when does the gorilla get tired? That's the number that would matter.
Yeah,
Like,
and
when
how
does the
many
gorilla
humans
have to
do
take a
they
nap?
Kill to get exhausted, and when you can.
But I would say this: even if the gorilla is napping, I don't think that humans have a lot of odds.
Well, if it's napping and 100 people are hitting it and the gorilla's not fighting back, it's going to die eventually.
Eventually,
Yeah.
Okay.
And unless it's eating the people it killed to regain energy, now there's a
it has
task.
to. It has to by law.
and they're eating while people are beating on it.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, it's got a lunch. This is my Union 20.
and that's the secret sauce. All right, time to talk about Lorcana.
Okay, I have something I got to go do. May the zoo be with you, Donald.
Thanks, George. You too.
Bye,
And Donald, will you text us updates about your roof this week to see if it is like? Can you go see if your roof is leaking now or no?
I mean, I can't right now. I'm doing this, but
This is probably more important though. Like, I expect weekly updates on Louis' leaky basement, and those have been really fruitful because it's usually yes.
Bye, George.
I'll miss you, Josh.
I miss you too, buddy. You got to call me so we can talk.
I will probably call you tomorrow afternoon after I get done my 10,000 phone calls in the morning. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. George has vested interest in what we're talking about, so he can't talk about this. We're also not going to show any photos of this because I don't want to add to the spoilers as a store. But everybody's talking about it. That's why I feel like we should talk about it, because this is no longer closed door information. They are changing the way that they do chase variants in Lorcana. They basically, I think what happened allegedly, I think what happened is that they watched our podcast and they heard Josh and I suggest some things.
I have standalone videos about this topic. I love this.
And they took Josh's advice and they're doing it. So they're 2 new card treatments.
So
go ahead, Josh.
Let me stop you there. So Tuesday, May the 6th, there's going to be they're doing their look ahead for Lorcana. And that they do this every time there's a new set. This is where they kind of show off the new set and stuff. But this one is specifically going to be like looking ahead to the future. What we're talking about are presumably leaked screen grabs from that recording that they're doing, the pre-recorded part that they do for that release. So
it might not actually be true.
It might not. It could not. Like this is not known information at this point. This is potentially known information that I would say is pretty accurate, but this is all allegedly.
Guys, what's the name of this podcast?
I don't know.
Metazoo be with you?
I'm all about talking about
is this Metazoo be with you? This is 100% true and happening. Like, what are we doing?
I agree. I'm here.
Our butts now.
He interrupted me. So we have 2 new card treatments: Epic, which is harder to pull than Legendary, and Iconic, which is harder to pull than Enchanted.
Which is borderless and alternate art.
Iconic is borderless. And what does Epic look like? What's the difference on Epic?
Epic is your borderless card, right? It's not quite as frame free as an Enchanted.
So it's
got less of a border and less of a frame than a regular card.
Epic is extended art in Magic terms, and then the Iconic is borderless. There's no text box frame or anything.
The Epic is the same art.
Yes, the Epic is
You don't know that.
We do. It says
alternate versions of existing cards.
It's
existing cards. Yeah, so it's new art.
No, it's existing art found on the standard cards, but it's alternate versions of those cards. So it's a borderless version of the.
They call it open air.
Yeah, it's an open air version of existing art. Okay. Iconic is new art on a frameless.
Hot take: Epic cards don't really matter.
Well, and they're less. Sorry, not less. They're more common than an Enchanted.
So it's going to be about one per box, probably.
So roughly 1 per box. It's going to be, for the playable cards, the playable ones will be ceiling $50 probably if they're highly playable. But they'll probably land around $20 a piece or so.
There will be versions of these cards that are worthless. I'm gonna say that.
Well, sure. There's yeah.
This is not going to be like an Enchanted where every one of these. There's just going to be too many of them.
It looks like they only come in foil as well. The Epics.
So yeah, it's the rainbow foil, which is what they use on the D23 promos, which is pretty sweet actually.
Sure.
Pretty sweet.
I'm not poo-pooing this. I think it's a good idea. I'm just saying we've seen other games that have box hits. Like, we've seen other games that have box hits, and there's oftentimes those cards are worth 50 cents a dollar.
So, can I say that that's where they failed on this? If I want to be nitpicky, I like that they created more versions. I think this was a step in the right direction, especially because pulling collectors into a Disney game is always a good thing. Keeping the Enchanted not the rarest version of the card That's a weird miss to me.
Well, but the only way they do that though is to make, because we all agree that the enchanteds are too easy to pull for it to be a chase card. So yeah,
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
So you think that 1 in 100 packs is the highest a chase card should be?
We have case hits right now in other card games, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work as a way to self-process. It doesn't work as a way to drive collectors. It's a model that's proven to fail.
You're saying that the reason that people buy Pokemon is to get this case hit, and they only like it when it's hard to pull. Louis has said that many times.
Yeah,
This is not Pokemon.
I don't think you can put this in the same arena.
That's not what we're trying to do here, is to pull collectors in by making things harder by making chase cards.
Well, we're trying to pull collectors in. I argue that the reason that you can't have a more casual collector audience, and I've argued this for a long time for Lorcana, is because you're either all in on chasing cards that are one in a case, or you're collecting things that feel not as valuable from a collector standpoint because they look like everything else. One in a case, in my opinion, is too rare. Collectors don't all have to be hardcore. You need a casual collector base. You need people who want to have versions of cards to bling out their deck that just aren't foils.
That's why we have these epic cards to have versions to bling out your deck.
And I was a big fan of that. But you could have another step in there, keeping enchanteds as the highest rarity, one per case for your very serious collectors, and then fill another gap in there as well.
Yeah. I think it's hard to explain this. I think this is good. Like, what they've done here is they've reduced what happens is you pull the enchanted from the case and then nobody wants to touch any of the boxes again. And that's what they needed to do. They put the thing in that's every box will have, about every box will have a decent pull. And then, you still have your legendary cards, you still have your other things.
Yeah.
But you get when you buy a box, hey, there's something there that I could get. It's a win from that box. And then you have your enchanted, which is like your win from the case. But they've added this other thing, the iconic, which is like, even when the enchanted is pulled, I still care to open the rest of the boxes in the case because I still have that odds of potentially getting an iconic card. I like that. I don't think it's comparable to Pokemon. This is not the Pokemon. This is much more in line with Flesh and Blood's model than it is Pokemon's model. Yep. The difference that I like about this is that it's just an alternate version. It's not a mechanically unique card.
Yes.
I hate when they have this 1 in 40 box mechanically unique card thing. I just think that's
that you essentially need to play, especially trending in the direction where you're always playing competitive, right?
No game that cares about gameplay would ever do that.
Well, they would say they would.
My statement stands.
Neelan, you can go stop by some offices and ask that question.
Congrats. Now you're banned from Flush.
Great.
Welcome to the podcast and the baffling reason why nobody plays the game.
No game that cares about their game would ever do that.
I think these iconic cards they've got they're the more rare than the enchanted. They're alternate versions, different artwork, and they've got the 3D hot stamp effect. I think those have the ability to become with Pokemon has the alternate art chasing.
Can I ask you what a 3D hot stamp effect is?
It's probably the cold foil that you've seen on the other Lorcana cards. That'd be my guess, right?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. I also can tell you one thing I don't like about this iconic, if it is what I'm picturing. It says custom lore star foil pattern. That could mean two things. That could mean that the lore stars, with the characters, that it has a little symbol of how much lore that they quest for. That means that they're either getting their own special, what that looks like what the lore stars will look like, or it could be like they do the Phyrexian, how they did the Phyrexian foil with if it just has little lore stars all down it, I hate it. I don't want it. That's going to look terrible. So I'm hoping it's the first. I'm hoping that it's
D&D ampersand cards, Donald, from Adventures of the Forgotten Realms. They have like the D&D symbol shaded into the background. So you have the full art. It's got a really glossy, beautiful foil. And then like as you tilt it, you can see this shaded D&D symbol in the background. That would be
fine.
That would
cool. Be fine.
Yeah.
I just hate I think those Phyrexian symbol, it looks like bubble wrap to me. It's just like, it's just dots going down the thing. I hate that. I hope that that's not what this is.
Yeah, and listen, I'm being nitpicky. This is not the way I would have done it. I also don't run Lorcana, so that's probably why. But I like that they are doing something, right? They're doing something to add juice to these boxes, add some collectability, add some chase. In my opinion, outside of the Enchanted, that's a win.
Yeah, I think it makes boxes hold their price longer.
It depends.
Stay closer to MSRP, I think.
I think something like this is good. I think it will bring in, if they do it right, this should bring in more collectors. I think they need to figure out how to get non-Lorcana people looking at the cards and saying, hey, I love Minnie Mouse, and I can go and I can open packs to chase that card. And
that's what that's why I'm saying I wasn't saying that this is going to be as big as Pokemon is collecting. I'm saying that they're trying to mimic that same space where people are chasing that hard to pull Mickey Mouse card, because the art looks cool and whatever.
Sure.
It's hard to pull. Like,
in my opinion, part of the reason people aren't chasing that right now is because it feels so unobtainable. Right. It just feels, because you're a fan of that card, you're a fan of, I'm a Mickey Mouse fan. You want me to open packs. I wanted something in that realm to fill that gap. Maybe I got the second best Mickey Mouse, and the case hit is still the best Mickey Mouse. I didn't think you should get rarer than the case hit.
See, I disagree with that a little bit, Josh. Like, I think that right now what they're not doing is there's no advertising to anybody who's not playing the game right now. Everybody I know anyway who buys Enchanteds is buying it to put it into a deck. There's not this like mentality of going to collect Lorcana. I don't know how Pokemon created that, other than for 10 years of my life I was inundated with gotta catch them all, gotta catch them all, gotta catch them all, gotta catch them all. Like, I don't know how you do that in a non-Pokemon game to get people to go open packs who don't play. But that's the only way to figure. I mean, that's what they got to figure out if they want to do stuff like that. Like,
that's why I wanted the more commonly pulled cards and keep the Enchanted at the max, because when Lorcana does something really well is it catches your eye on the store shelf, but you're probably not buying a box. But the chances of you hitting something leading up to the Enchanted might get you to buy another. Oh, this looks special. Yeah. I look it up. Wow. My problem was, if you're that person and you don't hit an Enchanted, it's really hard to tell. Like, the legendary cards look special. It's hard to know that. So I wanted more leading up to that. But I want to hit you guys with a hot take from we've mentioned the game that's probably best at destroying collectability a couple times already. So I want to hit you with a hot take that kind of gives me some vibes off that game. Did they just invalidate a lot of their Enchanteds? Because you're going to have an iconic Elsa.
Oh, you're saying that this is going to be reprint?
You've created a card? Well, no, it won't be a reprint. It won't be the same Elsa. They're not going to, but there will eventually be, like, if you collected the Enchanted Mickey Mouse, you've now got a Mickey Mouse that's more rare. You've gold foiled your gold foils.
Yeah.
Like,
they've also, I don't know what their print runs look like either. Well, it'd be interesting to know, are they printing way more of this than they did first chapter? You know what I mean? Like, that kind of statistic would be interesting to know.
But even if they don't, we've seen this again. We keep using the example. We know how many cold foil versions of these cards are out there, and we know that there's less gold foils because it's so. And even if it's somewhat similar, they've created a new top end, and for those true chase collectors, you've invalidated your previous top end.
I don't think you've invalidated it. I think you just added another card to get. Like, I don't.
But we've just seen it play out this way already.
Yeah. It depends. I think it would depend if they do the same. I think it matters if it's the same card or not.
Well, it won't. I can guarantee it won't be.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
It's an iconic out here. That would be a miss.
Yeah, if it's not the same card, I think if it's a different Elsa, I think now you just want both Elsas. Now you have a shelf and it's got Elsa from first chapter and next to it the iconic Elsa.
Maybe, but that's not the argument. The argument is which you want more. You want us inundated TCG fans with a link to the past want the original. We want the alpha. We want the beta. The person who's scouring eBay, you want the best one. You want the
newest one.
This one's not everything else enchanted. This is iconic. You want
maybe. I think I think it matters if it's the same card or not. But
yeah, I don't think it will be.
It'll be interesting to see too how many iconics we get in a set. Like, are there 5 iconic cards? Are there 2? Are there 1? Like that'll change things too. If I hope that there's a low number. I hope that there's like somewhere around 5 seems like a good number of iconic cards per set.
This is essentially a serialized card pull rate, is what I'm guessing.
Maybe
like a unique art serialized card type thing.
I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere around the like 201 per 250 packs.
I think that'd be much more rare than that.
How many packs in a case? 4 boxes
at 24, so it's just shy of 100 packs. That's why you don't
get guaranteed a chance. Yeah,
this would be my guess would be 800 packs, 800 to 1,000 packs.
I think that's too high. I think that it's I think
that would be pull rate of a Pokemon alt art, a specific Pokemon alt art.
I don't know.
What I'm saying is specific cards. So if you have 5 of these,
right?
Yeah, I mean,
one of them is the same thing as hitting the special art Charizard.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost think the more rare, the better it can be, though. Like,
yeah, I mean,
when you get to the point of unobtainable, you start to see some.
But you also add in that more obtainable than enchanted.
But then this is what gets people opening it on Whatnot and stuff like that. Because when you do hit that hit finally, it's a huge moment. Like when I hit an enchanted, it's not that big of a deal. But when you hit that iconic card, that is so hard to hit. Like,
this will be huge on release week with people streaming on Whatnot, and that's what these companies need now. It's like, think about how much product is opened that wouldn't have been opened because of stuff like that. And if it's too easy, we've seen this with Pokemon. If it's too easy, then it deteriorates. Like,
that's exactly what I was trying to say when you guys told me I was wrong. Was that having it being more rare makes more people want it. It makes it a much bigger deal. It makes more people opening the packs. And
I guess that's my fault for my. I'm not saying that I disagree with that premise. What I'm saying is the enchanted pull rate right now is my perceived cap.
So what you would have rather seen was them put iconic at the enchanted rarity rate and then still make enchanted the top and make enchanteds more rare. Would you have rather seen that?
No, I don't want anything to be more rare than an enchanted.
That's exactly what I just said. Make enchanteds the most rare, make iconics at the pull rate of the current enchanteds, and then make enchanteds.
Now you're making enchanteds more. I just said that. Do not make enchanteds more rare. Yeah. Enchanted still once per case. Put iconic somewhere in the middle between epic and enchanted as far as pull rates.
Yeah, it's too. There's too much in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know. Donna, I think more of what I was saying no to, and what I heard from you was that the Pokemon, like the one that Lorcana people would want to just open this non-Lorcana people, non-players. And I think that's like they have to do something to get those people in the door.
I think there will be non-players opening this.
If they advertise that, if they promote this pull rate, this card, then that could definitely happen, right? Like when you look at the Pokemon advertisements, it's always look at this big chase Gengar. It's like, oh my gosh, I love Gengar, I want that. And then you go to see it and it's impossible to get. So if they do that, but my point was like they have to do other things to get the collectors involved. This is a good step forward though.
It's also good. I mean, it's just good for the players too, because it's going to make the price of singles lower for the just regular versions. So easier to obtain cards to build a deck is always good.
It'll definitely help sell boxes.
I mean, our playable legendaries right now set around $50. So I still think $50 is too high for a card that you need 4 of to play in a deck. So I would like to see the price of legendaries come down. I know that's not everybody's take because they want their cards to be worth something, but I mean,
a happy medium, right? There's levels.
I like that it will. I think it's good for both. I think it's good for both collectors and for players. I think it's just good for the game in general. But we'll see. There are people on Reddit already crying about Iconics being harder to pull than Enchanteds. They don't like that. So we'll see.
Okay. Good stuff. We already did the secret sauce, so.
Yeah, this was our super secret. If you stayed for the super secret Lorcana section,
super secret sauce.
This section, iconic. Calling it.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Go subscribe to Scruffy Looking Gaming over at Donald's channel. Go subscribe to Hometown TCG, Josh's channel. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe here as well. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, for being here. Remember to be kind to the people around you. May the zoo be with you.
And also with you, Donald and Louie.
And with those 100 gorillas.
Wait, 100 gorillas? That's too many.